Hello everybody, welcome to MLG ProScrims. Tonight, it's another doubleheader. We're kicking things off with JusTus versus, I think their name is Calvera Fuse.
There you go.
And then later on the night, we got FaZe going up against Quantic Gaming. So an action-packed night of Call of Duty. And as you can see, I'm casting with my good buddy Reflections. How you doing tonight, man?
Yo, man, I'm doing good. I haven't casted with you since UMG, as well as I think I'm Rivalcaster too a while back. So it's good to see you, man. And I was talking the other night, and you went bowling. How'd it go?
Actually, back in high school, I was #1 in my county for a little bit. So I'm a big bowling fan. Ooh. And funny enough, I bowled a 666 series, which is under my average, but it's just kind of weird how that worked out.
Yeah, that's actually really bad, dude. That's telling you something. You need to find God really soon.
Something like that, but we got some great Call of Duty matchups tonight. But before we get to the action, if you guys were paying attention to our Twitter accounts over the weekend, you may have noticed that we partnered with Gfinity as they were running their G2 event over in London, and you saw the matchups on our stream. But if you missed any of the games, you want to go to youtube.com/official MLG COD. You'll find all the matchups there, as well as some of the games that weren't on stream. So if you missed any of the G2 action, head over there and you can catch yourself up. And I won't spoil anything for you, but it was a great event. You definitely want to go check it out. But the matchup tonight, Reflections, it's going to be Fuse versus JusTus. And we've seen a little bit of JusTus, and both these teams, they're kind of like the up-and-coming teams. They've been so close to reaching that pro status, but they've always fell a bit short. Now, keep in mind, these are both good teams, and it's nice to see more of them.
Yeah, JusTus and Clever Fuse are really great teams. We know Fuse is sponsored by Clever Gaming. JusTus is sponsored by Yoush. And, you know, a unique thing about these two teams is even though they're sponsored and ran by basically the same companies, because if you don't know, Clever Gaming also manages Team JusTus, as in their players and everything. They have different playing styles, even though they have basically the same teams. But we do have Snacks in here, who's the owner of Yoush. He's going to be coaching the team of JusTus, and Clever Clutch is going to be coaching Clever Fuse, so it's gonna be interesting. But Slum's Hardpoint, let's get it going, buddy.
That was actually a really good point you brought up about both them kind of sort of representing the same organization. So it's kind of like a little in-house battle tonight. And as you were saying, the first matchup, it's gonna be on Slums. Never mind.
Here we go.
They're gonna end the game. But I know a little bit about both these players, and on the JusTus team, you definitely got to watch out for this guy, Gucci. He's going to be in the opponent's face all night long, and you might remember him when he was on Icons Conquer, the team that took out Envious twice at 2 different events. So,
oh
Gucci,
my gosh, that was insane.
I think we all remember that. You were casting that game. Nifty came up clutch, but Gucci, he's such a solid player. I mean, I love the way he plays, and on the other side of things, for Fuse, I'm going to be looking at my good buddy Historify. I actually used to team with Historify back in Call of Duty 4 along with Aches from Complexity. So
nice.
I've known this guy for a long time, and the one thing that's kind of been holding him back is that unfortunately he's got to go to school. So he's been pursuing a higher education, but now that he's going to be graduating soon, he's got more time for Call of Duty in his life.
Well, once you get the COD education down, you can move on to real education and go get an actual job out there. But, I mean, he is a great player, and, you know, his role on the team is going to be, he sort of is that anchor. You know, the interesting thing about Fuse, you know, going into the Slums Hardpoint, interesting thing about Clever Fuse is they don't really have a set anchor. Okay, so that's going to be kind of different, although Historify does sort of act as that anchor. But, you know, he's going to be running around. You know, Fuse, they all play different roles whenever it comes down to it, and they all like fill in where is needed. But you are going to see Thang, though. Thang is the guy to watch out for, especially for those exciting kills. He's going to be that objective player. But on JusTus, you got to watch out for Chino. He's going to be that anchor player, and then Gucci and Grounds are going to be the sub players, and then Tipsy is going to be that sub AR player. So here we go. Hopefully they're going to get it started this time right. Slums Hardpoint.
Yeah, I like what you're saying about the Fuse guys. I mean, that's a sign of a good team. When you're able to fill in those gaps in your setup, when you're able to play all these multiple roles, it shows that you're a well-rounded team, and not only that, well-rounded players. So I'm excited to see what they could bring to the table. I got to switch up a few of my COD casting settings and make sure I got everything going here. So nameplate on, score panel on. Let's get things going. And I want to start things off with Gucci as he makes his way onto the hardpoint now. The middle hardpoint on Slums, well, the first hardpoint on just about every map, it's really all about contesting and trying to get as many points as possible. So you're going to see teams just try to juggle it. But on Slums, you could actually lock down the middle hardpoint for a good chunk of time if you could get the proper setup going.
Yeah, most definitely, but you also have to worry about Fuse. As of right now, it's going to be JusTus who have that spawn control back there in the table section, but they need to maintain that. We are going to see, though, a battle going on in blue as Fuse is trying to push through that, and they're going to try to flip over those spawns, but JusTus still with control with about 25 seconds remaining, and we see the score really close relatively right off the bat. And as you said, this mid battle, you know, you could get some points in it, but in my opinion, it's all about setting up for the next one and make sure you have that anchor roll locked down.
And that's really the story of hardpoint. You're always trying to win that rotation to the next hardpoint, winning the next hardpoint, setting up for that. But Chino, he's starting things off so strong right now. He is locking down the brick side of the map like a champion, and he's already earned himself the Hellstorm missile. Unfortunately, he did get taken out just short of that lightning strike, but as we were saying before, his team, they got the positioning in the back tables here. Chino, the anchor for JusTus, and he's getting his team the better spawns here, which, you know, is really good for this bottom lot hardpoint.
Yeah, and with Chino, with that Hellstorm, he did, in fact, go down, so he wasn't able to earn anything else, but he's on the anchor roll right now, as we knew he was going to be. So he's doing a great job so far. He was able to hold that down for Team JusTus the entirety of the time, and that's why they have such a commanding lead right now by about 30 points. 46-15 is going to be your score. Get on board, though, with Tipsy. This guy's on a 4-kill streak. He's got the M8 out, though, and, you know, this is the sub-AR guy, so he is very versatile in what he's going to do, and he can also replace Chino when he goes down his anchor, so he's going to be on this left-hand side just watching, and he's trying to maintain those score streaks.
I'm not sure if you were watching the mini-map there, but Tipsy just made a huge heads-up play. So as Chino was getting pressured on the anchor position, Tipsy said, you know what? Getting these points on the hard point, it's not important, because if we lose the anchor, we lose spawns, we don't get time after that. So Tipsy ran off the hard point, went to the car behind the tin fence, and helped out Chino to maintain spawns, and it paid off in the end, as now they have a 50-point lead, and, you know, unfortunately, it's going to go down a bit as current control of the hard point is in favor of Fuse.
Yeah.
But Chino has that Hellstorm missile, and I'm expecting him to use it here to break the setup.
Well, he can use it, but you got to know about that little glitch over there in that corner by the barrel. He can just go over there and run and avoid that Hellstorm, but it may do good work. Well, here we go. It is going to come in, and it looks like he's going to try to knock off that anchor. Does take out Thing 2, but still in control of anchor is going to be the team of Fuse, and that is a problem for JusTus, okay? They really, what is FaZe doing? I don't know. He was like running in the corner, but you know, that was the problem with Fuse right now. Or excuse me, with JusTus, they lost control of the anchor, and as we know, this is a crucial anchor spot to get on the fountain. If you don't get this, you're going to lose a ton of points on the junk port as well as the mechanic, because it's so incredibly difficult to push through that Hummer section as well as pushing that brick side.
Yeah, but it looks like in the end, JusTus, they're going to take control of the spawns, which is going to put them in a solid position. Not much time left on the white wall hardpoint, but the garage, it's still important, and this is where the submachine guns are going to come into play. You got to defend yourself inside the hardpoint and fight off the enemy team, and it looks like Thing 2, he's got the hot hand right now, so I want to see what this guy's in store for us. Just took out Tipsy inside the hardpoint, and he's getting dangerously close to some streaks, but I just cursed him, so no streaks for you, Thing 2.
Yo, that Codcaster curse, it is what it is. But get on board with Gucci, though. This man is a man on fire, as he does, in fact, go down. But let's stay on board with him and see how he's going to push through here. He is rocking overkill, it looks like. MSMC with that AR, and he's going to be going through Graves. Does meet a player and takes him out. He's just going to be roaming here with just 30 seconds remaining. I'm loving what he's doing right now. He's just roaming around. He's going to be that roaming player, and you see it's working out for him. He's picked up several kills as he just picks up a 2-piece, and that is going to be a 4-kill streak, and he's trying to earn that Hellstorm and Lightning Strike. Not a lot of streaks have been used, not a lot of streaks have been gained on this map, showing the evenness of both of these teams.
Yeah, only that one Hellstorm I've seen being used, but Gucci, man, he's going off right now. Just got cleaned up over near the brick side of the map, but I want to take a look at the scoreboard. He's 15-9 right now, leading his team in slaying and overall points. He's actually leading the whole lobby now that I'm looking at things, but it looks like JusTus, they got a lot of slaying going in their favor. Take a look at Chino. Perfect anchoring from him so far, 13-3. When you've only died 3 times around 5 minutes into the game, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah, and his clan tag says he sucks, but he's totally not sucking right now. 14-3 is an excellent thing for him, and with that anchor, you know, he's just going to be hanging back and trying to get those kills and earn some score streaks. And I think he was the first one to break the ice with score streaks with that Hellstorm. But if you look at the overall scoreboard again, just pull it up one more time, I just wanted to point out, look at the KD on Fuse's level. They are all just about going negative, other than Thing 2, who's about to go positive, 13-14, but they're totally getting outslayed right now by Team JusTus, and that is, I mean, apparent in the score right now, 147-68, but we do know in hardpoint. It's not about your KD, but how well you play the objective. So Fuse can make a comeback here, but they really start having to maintaining that anchor control and those rotations if they want to try to win this.
And since they're down by a good chunk of time, they can't really afford later on to the game to rotate to those hard points early. They got to fight for the scrappy time, because if you feed JusTus, 15, 20 seconds at the final of each hard point, it's just going to increase their lead. So Fuse, they need to start winning the hard points, and if they could gain something along the lines of a lightning strike on this bottom lot hard point, this will actually put them in a decent position, because we all know what the lightning strike can do over near the white wall hard point. You clear them off the hard point, you push and take control of the spawns in a perfect world. And right now, I'm looking at his Storify. He's trying to get some score streaks, and he's pretty close to them.
Yeah, he's getting pretty close, and if he does get this kill, that's great. Nice. There he goes, he earns it. So he's got the Hellstorm and a lightning strike, and I think he just earned his War Machine with that kill. So he did a great job back there. Even though he knew JusTus was pushing up, he maintained control of that anchor over there and was able to come through and contest and earn his streaks, and he's actually just one kill off from that War Machine, which is going to come in big. And since we are on the final rotation of the hard points, those score streaks are definitely going to come in big, but it needs to learn score streak management. So I'm interested to see when he's going to decide to use those, and is Fuse going to be able to make a comeback. The score really isn't that bad right now, still with 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Plus Fuse doesn't currently have control of the next hard point, but JusTus is currently going to be in there, but Fuse is going to be pushing through, so let's see what can happen here.
Calls in the lightning strike, doesn't pick up any kills, as JusTus, not only do they hold on to the hard point, they hold on to the spawns. So I actually didn't like the use of the lightning strike there from his Storify. If you saw when he decided to use it, he was still at the bottom lot hard point as it was expiring. So as soon as that hard point was done with, he immediately called it in. And he was actually still kind of messing with the spawn. So even if he picked up a couple of kills, Fuse, they still wouldn't have gotten the better spawns. JusTus would have still maintained control of the laundry side of the map. I would have liked to see his Storify actually push up more towards the blue side of the map, over near the Humvees over here, and then wait for his teammates to put themselves in a position to push along with the lightning strike, because that's why you use those score streaks in the end, to coordinate a team push with all your guys, push in as a team and take control of the spawns. But just some premature use of the lightning strike there. Also use the Hellstorm missile, and you still see JusTus, they control the hard point, and Chino, he's got another Hellstorm missile to work with.
Yeah, he's got a Hellstorm, and he was not able to get that kill, so he's going to be thwarted from that lightning strike. But he did a great job earning really a massive amount of points in that junk hard point, and that was needed, especially coming down to the last 2 minutes. And the score just broke 200 for JusTus, so looks like JusTus could, in fact, take this quite convincingly. In fact, as Groundser, as I'm on board with this guy, he's on a 3-kill streak. He's about to earn some score streaks himself, which is definitely going to come in handy coming into those next 2 hard points. And there he goes, earns a Hellstorm. Can he get the lightning strike? Yes, he does. Does get taken out, but he's got a Hellstorm and a lightning strike going into the final 2 hard points. Chino, still with that Hellstorm, is definitely going to come in big as well. So I think I'm going to call this now with the score 218 and 115 going into the final 2 hard points and the streaks in the favor of JusTus. I think JusTus is going to take this.
Yeah, it's almost mathematically impossible as well. Only a couple more seconds need to go in favor of JusTus. But even if they lose the rest of the time on Garage, they still have the score sheets to take Fuse off of the next hard point if they choose to use them for that purpose. But I'm going to pop up the scoreboard one more time, as it is about to be over. 24-9. Chino just doing some massive work in the anchor department. You see 29-22 from Gucci still on top for his team. But on the other side of Fuse, not a whole lot of kills going their way. It's only Sin and Thing 2 picking up some kills around the map. You see FaZe really struggling here. He's got 6 caps and 1 defense, so a lot of captures, but he keeps getting taken out inside that hard point. Thing 2, he's doing pretty well for his team. He's got 8 defense, a good amount of kills, but here come the score streaks from JusTus, and it's only a matter of time before they close this one out.
Yeah, even if you get those captures, they're not going to matter if you're not able to come through and defend them off for your team. So, I mean, you may be able to get in there and get some points, but overall, if you're not earning score streaks and you're not defending it, I mean, it's really pointless to hop in there. So that, that doesn't really much matter as much as defends do. But, Thing 2 on Fuse really performed. He had 8 defense, and he also almost went positive. So did Sin. But, I mean, overall, I was really not impressed by the way Fuse played that, and I think they need to step up their game overall. And I think, really their overall gun skill really struggled in this. I mean, not even their anchoring nor their rotations, just overall gun skill. I think JusTus won in that department, and that's why they did such an excellent job overall. So it is definitely going to be JusTus taking your first round, guys. 1-0 is going to be this best of 5 score so far in favor of JusTus. But you know what? I think going into this next game, which I believe is going to be Search and Destroy, correct?
Yeah, Search and Destroy on Raid will be the next map.
Yeah, so it's going to go into Search and Destroy. I think Fuse can take this. Fuse's best game mode is Search and Destroy, so.
Okay, so we'll see if they're able to gain some momentum there. But, I mean, they weren't really out of this game until they messed up with those score streaks from his Storify. They had a chance to come back into the game if those score streaks were near perfect. I mean, in an ideal world, you use those score streaks, you take the other team out of positioning, and then your teammates take control of the spawn points from there, and then you got a time from the hard point off of that. But unfortunately, the score streaks really didn't do much from Fuse, and they wind up dropping the first map by a score of 246 to 178. JusTus, they're looking pretty strong here.
Yeah, JusTus is looking really good, and I was really impressed by Chino. He is the anchor for JusTus, and he definitely played that role through and through. He did not break that. You know, he didn't even try to go for those hard points. He was like, you know what? Yeah, Groundser just dangled that kid right there to the face with the knife. So nice shank there by him. So, but Chino played really well on that anchor, and he didn't really stray away from that. He tried to really focus on that, and you got to really give it to Team JusTus on picking up Chino for that, you know, as the anchor. So he did a great job, and you can't forget Gucci and Groundser with those subguns. I mean, they did an excellent job as well. Plus Tipsy, can't forget him, which he actually was an AR most time during that game. So great job from them. But going into Search and Destroy, like I said, I think Fuse is going to take this, and the guy to watch is going to be Historified.
Okay, so Historified, a player watch from Fuse, but also you got to give up to Chino some more. He died 3 times in the first 5 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
So that's near perfect anchoring. And when you got the submachine guns taking off a lot of pressure from you as they pick up kills around the map, just makes it that much easier. But the first map, it's over and done with that. It's JusTus they take a 1-0 lead in the best of 5 series. So first of 3 maps will be the winner of the first ProScrim tonight. Coming up next, it's going to be Search and Destroy on Raid, and we'll be right back after this commercial break.